Damon Keys off the mark. Tried to pick and roll. It'll be Bowie State's ball. Great effort by Shazam. You can hear it from the crowd. They're really pumped up and enthused by Shazam. Really, Shazam on the team because of the injury to Dante Blaney, who's out for the season.
And again, he's showing his presence and making his presence known, which he's going to have to do. Coach Hickman coming in with an appropriate substitution, number 32 for the Bulldogs.
James
Parker coming in, a very wise move to try to cut down on this inside play between Pitts and Bess.
Outside, off the mark, Pitts once again with those long arms trying to get the rebound, but Foster is there. Shamar, he's becoming the Dennis Rodman of the Bulldogs.
He certainly is. He's getting his hands on every ball there.
That's something the younger players really don't understand in today's game, to accept the role.
That's true. It's like anything, any system.
We have a foul here. Best with a pretty good defensive play, but he's called for the wraparound foul.
Well, basketball, as I was mentioning, is a game of motion. It's a system that has to be fine-tuned, and within any system, you have parts that have to, fulfill their particular role. Players have to be able to identify their strengths and therefore identify their role and be a role player within the team concept.
In the age of the Michael Jordans and the Magic Johnsons, as you see here, you got Marlon Jones, a member of the CIAA 1995 championship team, and in a suit. Marlon is sporting that Armani as you see a throwdown on the other side by Mr. Pitts.
Again, Pitts coming off the bench, making his presence known. Big guy, very agile, getting down the floor, extremely fast for that tip in. Good play by Pitts.
I said 95, my fault. 96 champion.
Bulldogs being forced into some bad shots, LT, getting a little frustrated with the pressure of the defense that the Falcons are placing on them, and seemingly willing to take shots that are really outside of the range, which are low percentage shots. They got to get the ball inside, get some fouls on some of these big guys, get them out of the game for a minute, and then start to break on them a little bit. Get that fast break rolling.
In the corner, no good. Keys with another rebound. Pushing ahead to Shea Johnson. He's been very quiet the last 5 minutes. Jamie Parker. So close, but he's off the mark. The no look to Pitts. And Pitts is starting to become a thorn in the side of Bowie State.
Yeah, Julian Pitts must be the quiet secret weapon of the Falcons. He's coming off the... That's an excellent play, if I could make a quick comment. For you young players, again, we always try to highlight some of the things fundamentally that we see that you should be aware of. On that particular play, Damien goes inside. His presence of mind is that he's going to absorb some pressure from the defense. He does so, and he kind of in a double clutch manner absorbs the pressure of the defense. He gets fouled, but he continues on in an attempt to make the three-point play, which is very key in any realm of collegiate basketball.
You see Shazam did a pretty good job in the 5 minutes he got to play. I mean, tremendous job on the glass and the boards. And he's going to be back in the second half. You know this.
He's certainly an inspirational player.
You saw the noise level increase when Shamar was in the game. Damian Keys is doing a pretty good job of getting to that free throw line. You see the Bulldogs putting the pressure on, and the Falcons elude.
Well, if they can keep this margin what it is and certainly not get too much higher, then they're in good shape. And as we speak, as I say that, Eric Harris, again, that big guy inside, I would say again, 80–90% of the points the Falcons have scored have been within 10 feet of the basket.
And they definitely have the depth down low. Eric Harris has checked in the game, replacing Bess. It must be nice to sport two big Goliaths. Mike Jones somehow comes up with the ball, puts some points on the board for the Bulldogs. cutting the lead to 10. Under 2 minutes to play in the first half.
That's very key. When you can substitute a Pitts and a Best and come in with a Harris to back them up, you got yourself a nice selection of players to come in.
The Bulldogs once again with a big rebound. A reminder, they're having at halftime a ceremony honoring the 1996 CIAA baseball championship team, Bowie State's championship run. They did a tremendous job, and they're going to be honoring them. They're going to get their rings, and you're going to see Marlon in his suit again in his Armani.
All right.
2 on the shot clock. Shea airs it up off the mark. It's nothing.
Yeah, one of the problems presently is that, again, they're kind of rushing the shot, but in the advance of the play, in terms of moving the ball to particular options of the play, the ball is not being progressed forward in terms of creating themselves a high percentage shot. As the shot clock goes down, they find themselves in a bad situation and having to launch a 30 or 40 footer, which certainly is a low percentage shot.
Well, there was a timeout called on the floor for the Falcons of St. Augustine. They're leading by 10 with 56 seconds remaining in the first half. Lexter Taylor along with Sid Catlett here at the AC Jordan.
Well, you know, it's interesting. The Bulldogs are only down 10 points in this contest, which is a respectable margin here, and they certainly are not out of this game by no means. And given the high percentage shots that the Falcons have had, it would appear that they would be out of the game much more. So they've got a good opportunity for the next 2 minutes and certainly the next half.
A very low scoring first half. There's a foul called on David Burley.
The key there defensively, LT, is when you got a big guy like Harris and he wants to receive the ball that far away from the basket, that's kind of a ridiculous foul. Don't foul him that far away from the basket. He's not a threat at that range, so let him get it. Let him get it. Just play him defensively. Play him smart.
Shea Johnson with 30 seconds remaining in the first half. Shot clock can be turned off here with 17 seconds to go. They're calling an offensive foul on Mike Jones for throwing that forearm.
Yeah, Mike, you know, those type of plays happen all the time. You got to be very smart when you do that. You got to be aware of where the official is. And in most cases, that's a reaction play. Someone has hit you or bumped you, and your reaction is to do it back. And it's always the reactor who gets caught in those situations. The person who initiates it never gets caught. The person who reacts is the one who always gets busted.
That's the way it seems. Bernard Hurd at the line from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. They recruited a lot of Florida players looking at the roster at St. Augustine. They have 3 players from Florida. St. Augustine is in North Carolina, Raleigh, North Carolina, and there's an offensive foul called. And you see Marlon Jones. Marlon is a member of Bowie State's television. He's a cameraman and does a tremendous job tonight. Unable to perform his duties as a cameraman because he has to receive that championship ring.
Well, he's certainly looking sharp, and I am certain that his capabilities as a cameraman probably complement certainly the way he looks. He's very sharp this evening.
Well, that's the end of the first half, with St. Augustine leading the Bulldogs by 10, 35-25. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be back with the halftime ceremony honoring our 1996 CIAA championship baseball team. basketball arena. Lexter Taylor along with my colleague Sid Catlett. I want to welcome you first of all to the broadcast this year, and you're going to be my colleague for the entire season. And thank you for that. But as we honor the 1996 CIAA championship team, Bowie State's baseball team, tremendous job these young men did to win that title.
Well, the college environment is an environment of academics, and it's an environment of extracurricular activity. I think the marriage of both of them make for a very positive experience overall for a student who comes and wants to broaden himself by acquiring an education. An education is not just something that you acquire by sitting in the classroom. There are a lot of socialization skills that go into education that you develop and you acquire through the participation of what is called a team sport. When you branch out and you acquire a degree and you have to go out into the greater society, you're required to be a part of a team in a business setting or in any organizational setting. And in my view, sports provides that for kids to prepare them to how to be productive as a part of a unit.
I don't think a lot of students really understand what a student athlete has to go through. The pressures of school and athletics. Somehow these young men were able to juggle all of that and win a championship. You know they must feel wonderful right now. You were a student athlete. Tell us a little bit about the pressures.
Well, my collegiate days were played at Notre Dame University, which most people are familiar with in terms of the tradition of football, and in the last 20, 25 years, the tradition of basketball. However, in that environment, which is pressure-packed, you have an alumni throughout the country that expects for you to win. You have a family that is looking up to you to be an excellent student as well as to be an excellent performer. It's a lot of pressure, and I think that you touched the key aspect of what is required, which is pressure. And I don't think today that's something that any young kid who has basic skills to participate in an extracurricular sport should shy away from. In the greater society, you're going to be under a lot of pressure. You've got to produce, and I think it's just a good opportunity to start at this environment.
We're going to listen here to the president of Bowie State, Dr. Nathaniel Pollard.
A great baseball team in itself, but not as great as our Bulldog team at Bowie State University. Their success on the field started with their success in the classroom. We believe that academics is first, and then winning on the field is second. Of course, this championship means a lot to us, and when you add to it performing in the classroom and remaining eligible to play, and also winning the CIAA championship, we think we owe this team another round of applause. It's always my honor to present to you the 1996 CIAA baseball champions, the Bowie State University Bulldogs. At this time, I welcome to the microphone Joe Good, the Baltimore Orioles.
I'd like to congratulate the young fellas here this evening on the wonderful championship. It all starts right here.
We talked about, you were telling us about the pressures of being a student athlete. Here's another shot of Marlon Jones. Marlon is a type of student where he's really in his academics, but he's in athletics. He loves baseball. Marlon has a desire to be a film maker or whatever. He produces his own movies, and this guy has a lot of talent.
Well, it's obvious today, at least to me, that we can't afford to wait until we graduate to start acquiring a professional, to start acquiring a skill, and we can hone that skill within a collegiate environment. And by the time we become graduates and we have to face the greater society, we have some apprenticeship under our cuff. And I think Marlon is a perfect example of getting started now, making whatever mistakes you're going to make as a young person now, and learning from those mistakes. And then once you get out into the greater society and you have to compete in the business market, you are familiar with some of the pitfalls and are familiar with your strengths and your weaknesses. So I commend these guys. And the pressure aspect is there. We've got to face it. It's important to be under pressure because it requires you to call upon some things within yourself that you may not know are there, and to still be productive and still be positive regardless of whatever situation you may find yourself in from a family perspective. You still have to be a positive, solid individual in society, a productive participant in society, and let's focus on what's going on here.
The athletic director, Charles Gilbert. They prepare to hand out the championship rings.
You know, this is what it's all about. You work so hard for months, and this is what it's all about, the payoff. And payoff in a positive way.
Adrian,
This is something that you can take with you for the rest of your life. I mean, once you get that degree, that's one thing, that paper. But to have a gold ring, a championship on it, I mean, that'll stay with you for a long time.
It certainly will, LT. You can't beat being in an environment where you're collectively working with a bunch of guys and you're all working for the same objective, and you reach that objective together as a team. That is something that you never forget.
This guy right here, silent, gentle giant, Ralph Pater, a football player, as well as a baseball player, outstanding baseball player, offensive lineman. Did a pretty good job.
I'm very impressed as well with the enthusiasm of the student body. In every college setting, you always have students who have their favorite, but I think overall that the student body and the expression that they are extending today towards not only the game that is being played, but to this particular ceremony is very important for these students. Oftentimes you find in some larger school settings you have certain individuals that are somewhat jealous and somewhat envious and have a perception that athletes are given more than they give to the university. I think here you feel this harmonious relationship between student and athletes.
Jeff, the blue one.
If you're just tuning in, this is the halftime ceremony honoring the 1996 Bowie State CIAA championship team. And you see the coach there.
Andrew Jackson.
Nate Somerville, another member of that Bowie State football team.
Big fella.
Two-sport star. There's Marlon, member of VSU Television. Brooklyn, New York. Has some jewelry to take home for Christmas, and I think that's Marlon's Christmas present to himself. I think he's really been talking about that all summer.
I'm certain it's well deserved.
I remember the feeling I had when I had my class ring. You see, kissing the ring.
That's right. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Nothing like the collegiate life of an athlete. Can't compare it to anything.
Coach Malone, I'd like to present you with this flag, Bowie State University Athletics, 1996 CIAA baseball champion. 1996 baseball champion. Congratulations.
Coach Colombo, tremendous job this past season, leading the Bulldogs, the underdog Bowie State Bulldogs, to victory.
Makes it twice as sweet when you come from behind and it's unexpected.
The Bulldogs had to go through some giants, CIAA giants, laying Norfolk State.
And now we would like to present
Very
the
talented
championship
baseball
banner
team.
that will be, displayed at this gymnasium now to infinity. Congratulations, guys.
There's the banner that will be displayed here at the AC Jordan, the CIAA 1996 baseball champions. Another trophy to add to the trophy case out in the vestibule in the AC Jordan.
Yeah, it's very rewarding to sit here and watch the expressions and the smiles on the faces of these players. Most people just observe the end result of what it takes to be an athlete, the performance, the game. Most people are not aware of the hours, many hours that it takes to get to this particular level and to perform at this particular level. And there's a lot of sacrifices the player has to set forth. He has to put aside some things that are not supportive of his athletic endeavor and put that aside and really focus on what he wants to do athletically. And these guys are really expressing their gratitude to all the things that they had to do to get to this point, and I'm very pleased to be a part of this evening.
These guys are really excited. Their moment in the sun finally come. The rings, their trophy, the banner happens tonight, halftime here at Bowie State. We're going to take a short break, and we're going to be right back with the first half stats. We're back here at the AC Jordan Basketball Arena. St. Augustine leading Bowie State 35-25 at the half. Lexter Taylor along with Sid Catlin. We're back here at the AC Jordan Basketball Arena. St. Augustine College leading the Bulldogs 35-25 at the half here. About to get the second half underway. Lexter Taylor along with my colleague Sid Catlin, and a tremendous job defensively by St. Augustine holding Bowie State to 26% from the field.
Yeah, it's kind of astounding, especially given the differential here at halftime of merely 10 points. One would think by glancing at these stats that the Bulldogs would be down by much more. The thing I think that has been the saving grace, LT, is number one, the rebounding and the foul shot attempts that's kept the Bulldogs into this contest.
Well, the leading scorers for both teams, Damon Keys leading for Bowie State with 10. And Eric Harris, the man in the middle, done a tremendous job in the paint, leading the Falcons with 8. As we get underway here in the second half.
LT, I think we can anticipate at least at minimum a half-court pressure defense by the Bulldogs to get something going, get some fast break baskets, get the momentum raised a little bit. They got to be careful because again they got these big guys on the inside for St. Augustine. Got to be careful.
Fonte Moses opening up the second half with the tray. Second half starters for Bowie State, Shea Johnson and Dwayne Moore in the backcourt. Mike Jones and Jamie Parker, along with Damon Keys, make up the front court. And Jamie Parker makes good on his first shot from in the second half. Shea Johnson doing a pretty good job getting the ball down low. You talked about the pressure, Bowie State with the half-court pressure, but the Falcons somehow eluding inside to Harris. Easy basket for him, 10 points now for the big man from Pompano, Florida.
Yeah, the Bulldogs are pressuring the ball as it comes up to the half-court mark, and once the pressure is broken by the offense, then they're setting up a kind of a zone, floating man zone, covering your area. Whoever comes in your area, then you pick them up.
Same starters for the Falcons. Keith Hines and Roger Billfield make up the backcourt. And the front line, LaFonte Moses, Bernard Hird, and the big man, Eric Harris. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Off the mark is Shea Johnson. Here comes St. Augustine. Floor general Hines finding Moses was trying to be very productive offensively. That's 5 points here in the second half, and the Falcons are trying to really blow out the Bulldogs.
Yeah, Falcons pulling away now, feeling very comfortable with the defense.
Baseline, Mike Jones. Can't hit. Dwayne Moore with the offensive rebound. He can't hit. Runs off the glass, and here comes the Falcons. High. Penetrating, fakes it, goes to Harris, outside to Moses. He is leading them through the wilderness right now. 45-27, and he has been the hot hand the second half. I don't know what they told him, but he's doing the job.
Well, Bulldogs excellent offensive rebounding, however can't convert, having difficulty putting the ball back in the hole. But again, they're rebounding very well offensively. I think we can anticipate a full court press to come very shortly.
18-point lead now for the Falcons. Trying to go home with a W. Trying to get that second one of the season. 3 on the shot clock. Keys, nice. The paint. Keys has been the only offensive firepower for Bowie State so far in this game. Once again, St. Augustine beating that pressure by Bowie State. Into Hurd. Hurd off the glass.
That's very key right there, that play, very key in breaking a press. You always have an outlet player there in the middle to get rid of the ball and get the ball, and then he becomes a feeder to those players cutting to the basket.
Mike Jones going baseline. Parker there with the offensive rebound. We're going to have a foul called in the paint.
Again, Bulldogs offensively rebounding very well. Difficulty converting.
That'll send Jamie Parker, freshman Chesapeake, Virginia, to the line. Roderick Belfield picking up his second personal.
Just a quick note at halftime, the Falcons were 0 for 5 from the foul line. Went the whole half without converting a foul shot. By the same token, Damian Keys went 6 for 8. Certainly from that vein kept them into the game. Now if they can convert some of these 3-point attempts and as well get the ball off the offensive boards.
And going to Moses, tries the one-handed shot off the mark. Somehow the Falcons come up with it. He's on fire no more as he misses from the corner. Here come the Bulldogs. Shea Stadium Johnson tries to find Keys, pass thrown away. Bulldogs.
Yeah, go right on. That's all right.
Well, the Bulldogs didn't have a lot of turnovers in the first half, and if they're going to cut into that lead, they can't continue to do things like that.
Absolutely. You got to pull it back out. If you don't absolutely have something that you are short of, pull the ball back out and get yourself a nice high percentage shot.
In the lane, Hurd off the mark, hits the glass, and Keys once again doing it offensively and on the glass, and there's a traveling call on Mike Jones. Keys is definitely, he's going to have to get some help if the Bulldogs are going to cut into this lead.
That's a perfect example. Really, you really didn't have anything with that penetration. You got to be smart to bring it out.
Moses with the layup. Moses has really done a tremendous job in this second half. 20-point lead now for St. Augustine. Damon Keys, beautiful spin move right around Hurd. And once again, transition has really killed Bowie State in this game, and that'll foul. Moses was trying to shoot it there.
That's
He was fouled.
That's right. Damian's got to get some help, LT. He's giving it all he's got on both ends of the floor. He's got to get some help. I anticipate a full court press coming off the bench. The big fella, Jones, getting ready to give him some board help. And they can't take bad shots on the fast break attempts here. Got to get good shots.
Damon Keys, downtown, no good. Hurd, oh baby! He was trying to send this crowd out of here with that. And that's the thing, the difference between I call it the black and white era and today's era. This generation, they want to dunk on guys, and they didn't do that back in the day.
That's true. We had a few players that could rise up like that, but certainly in no way the athleticism today certainly surpasses, I think, much of what I saw back in the days that I played. You've got so much technology today in the realm of weights and other type of aerobic type of exercises. Today is just unbelievable, the jumping ability of some of these players.
Hurd gets the friendly roll.
Nice soft shot by Hurd.
51-31. Under 15 minutes to play in the game. The Falcons doing a tremendous job defensively against Bowie State.
Yeah, they've jumped up this 10 additional points in 5 minutes.
Bulldogs with only 10 players suited up, thanks in part to a lot of injuries. Shea Stadium off the mark. Keys going for the rebound, and Russell there is Shea Evans and Keys both battling for the rebound. Out of bounds, St. Augustine's ball.
Again, a key for the Bulldogs is high percentage shots. You break a semi-press only to take a 30-footer.
In the corner, Moses can't hit, and there's the rebounding guru, Shamar Shazam Foster, member of the Bowie State football team. He did a great job in the first half rebounding.
Yeah, again, he supplied the bulk that's necessary to go against Harris, to go against Moses. You got Pitt, as well as Bess.
Damon Keys starting to put on a show as Shamar has a shot rejected as he tried to enter the basket zone. He couldn't do it. In the corner, bang, bang. Harrington, Roderick Belfield with that from downtown.
Bulldogs losing their composure here, LT.
And the Falcons are starting to feel comfortable with this atmosphere, and they don't feel like visitors any longer. Open up their biggest lead of the game, 53-31, and they're enjoying this transition type game.
They certainly are. They seem to be very comfortable with their particular position. We got a timeout going, LT. I think we can look for a press coming at this particular point. But again, key offensively for the Bulldogs is to, again, in transition, not to take the 20, 30 footer. You can get that anytime. These guys are behind. They don't have the rebounding strength, just in case, the shot is awry. So they got to get a good high percentage shot and work the defense, work the offense and defense.
Well, the Bulldogs, as we mentioned at the start of the game, without their senior forward, Dante Blaney, the 6'8" forward, and you got to wonder if he was there, if he was playing, the outcome would be a little bit different.
I think so. Again, you got Moses playing an excellent second half thus far. Harris has kind of been quiet, but I think we can expect some things from him. And the two guys that I think were the difference coming off the bench for the Falcons, Pitt and Bess, have yet to enter the game here in the second half. Again, I think right now is the key for the Bulldogs.
Monte Moses, free throw line, forward from Goldsboro, North Carolina, second leading scorer for the Falcons with 14 points per game. He's been the hot hand in the second half. 55-31. Falcons are really doing a great job of making the Bulldogs suffer at home tonight. Damon Keys has been all of the offense for Bowie State, and that time it was thrown away. And all of a sudden it looks like they're starting to be frustrated.
Yeah, that can certainly be something that could certainly deteriorate your offense. Again, they've got to regain their composure, keep it together, and come back and work the offense.
Shamar doing a pretty good job of coming down with the rebound. And we have a foul called on Eric Harris.
Two big, strong guys going for it. Good competition, and they shake each other's hand on the other end of the court. Good sign of sportsmanship.
I don't think Harris realizes that Shamar is normally slamming quarterbacks down and, not grabbing rebounds. This guy is very tough. He was born to rebound. 15 on the shot clock. Damon Keys, he's trying to become a one-man show now. Everybody's like clearing out and watching Keys, but you're not going to win many games relying on one guy.
No, you're absolutely right, LT. You got to create some motion. You got to have the defense moving around. You got to create that motion to keep a particular side of the court occupied to afford to play on the opposite side some freedom to maneuver. So you got to move. You got to create some motion. 4
personals now on Mike Jones. Moses. It's been Moses by himself pretty much in the second half.
Yeah, he seems to be very confident at this point. He's having himself one heck of a game.
Rims out. Moses with the rebound. Hines pushing it forward. Inside they go to Harris. Easy for him in the paint. He's loving it. Damon Keys steps on the line. And very frustrated player right now is Damian Keys.
Yeah, I think everything that can go wrong is going wrong thus far. Again, this is when a team becomes a team. You got to call on some things. You got to call on your teammates, get it together, regain your composure, get back in this ball game.
Off the mark, an air ball. But somehow the Falcons come back with it, and we have a foul call here on Damian Keys. Damian still very frustrated, trying to rebound and score by himself. You see Jamie Parker, who replaced Mike Jones, will sit down with 4 personal fouls. But the depth of St. Augustine is wearing the Bulldogs down. Harris pushed by Jamie Parker, and he'll go to the line, the big guy from Pompano Beach, Florida.
Yeah, Eric Harris, a big guy, 6'8", about 225, 30 pounds. Good inside move. I'm very impressed with his touch, his release on that baby jumper inside, and a very spirited player, too. Giving his players a lot of high fives. I think we can see and anticipate the entry of Julian Pitt. He should be in this game shortly.
St. Augustine has a history of recruiting very tall and athletic big men through the years in the CIAA. They somehow always have guys on their bench 6'8", 6'9", 6'10". And you see Harris running back with his shush symbol to the crowd of Bowie State.
Very soft touch by the big guy.
Rims out again, and there's Foster with the rebound.
That's what we need. See, that's the play. That's what we're talking about. We need that type of offensive rebound. Take it up strong, get some fouls on these big guys. And again, I think very, very shortly we're going to see the entrance of both Pitt and Best subbing for the 2 big guys for the Falcons. This is where we're going to start to wear down the Bulldogs. Just a coaching strategy, not a forecast.
Shazam Foster at the line from Buffalo, New York. A young man who really is very athletic, because I mean, to play 2 sports, you really have to be athletic. And this guy is able to play football and basketball and to do both of them well.
That's a very special person, very special athlete.
Alley-oop. Hines to Hurd. Nothing there. Hurd has it swatted away by Stadium Johnson and picks up the personal.
St. Augustine playing with a lot of confidence, LT, moving the ball very quickly to the open spot on the floor, smiling with one another, giving each other high fives. They're very confident at this point.
Very confident team. They get prepared for that winter break. Colleges, most college students are buckling down and preparing themselves for Christmas, doing their exams so they can go back home. You see Coach Tav Hickman. I know he wishes Marquise Melton had another year of eligibility. He's now assistant coach.
You know, and speaking of the Christmas holidays, the Bulldogs have one additional home game prior to the Christmas break. Fayetteville State University here at 7:30. Again, then after that, they don't play again, LT, until January the 7th. So they got to get one of these wins. If not this one, then certainly the next one.
You're absolutely right. Really needs to find a place at home. Get that W. 2-5 team. They're trying to get their third one of the season, and right now looks bleak. St. Augustine has come in the AC Jordan and have done a tremendous job defensively against Bowie State. Michael Harrington hitting the two-pointer. Foot was on the line. 66-31. And they're just too big right now for Bowie State. Give and go. Beautiful basketball, the way it used to be played. Michael Harrington.
Falcons playing with a lot of confidence.
Damon Keys from downtown, no good, and we have an offensive foul called on Shamar. And they called that one on Jamie Parker, not Shamar Foster.
Yeah, again, you know, we may sound a little repetitive, but Eric Harris, big guy, strong guy, well-developed guy, probably very difficult to move around inside and causing some problems, and Jamie Parker just can't handle his strength inside.
Harris is a man amongst boys right now. And Moses has been unconscious. He's feeling it right now. 70-31.
Now this is when the pride of a team sets in, LT. This is when the guys got to really pull together and pride takes over.
Shamar Shazam! Foster with his first points of the game, and hearing it from the crowd. St. Augustine trying to showboat a little bit. That time the alley-oop off the mark, turnover. They're playing like this is their playground.
Yeah, they're at a point now where they're, you know, they're kind of just having a good time and enjoying themselves. You got to be very careful. Guys can get hurt. Now the Bulldogs, again, need to get themselves a good shot. Get a good three-point play, look inside, get somebody fouled in the process.
Under 10 minutes to play. 70-33, St. Augustine leading. There's Shamar with another offensive rebound. It was rejected by Harris, and here comes St. Augustine, but traveling was called on Hines. He's trying to do the razzle-dazzle. Nice pass, but he needs to let that ball hit the ground.
That's true. It was a good idea, good concept. He took a couple steps too many.
He's got to hit the floor. Damon Keys. Spins off the glass, and Damon Keys, the bright spot for the Bulldogs. There's a turnover. Shea Stadium Johnson with the steal. Three-point shot, no good. Shea still cannot find that shot.
Yeah, Shea having a tough night, certainly in the first half. didn't have a high shooting percentage for that particular half, and seemingly having difficulties right now. First half he went 2 for 7 and having difficulties. And again, today in college ball, you got to have that solid outside shooter. It creates a world of difference on the inside for players, so you got to have it. Bulldogs haven't had it tonight.
Moses making good on that first attempt, and we talked about the depth of the Falcons. You see Harris, he'll get a rest, possibly for the rest of this game, and Bess returns. And I mean, they really don't lose anything, as those guys are pretty much the same size.
Yeah, that's true. They're not losing too much in size. And again, individual who had a excellent first half, who went 3 for 3 from the field, was Julian Pitt. He is yet to enter the game, and I expect to see him come in very shortly.
Well, a blocking foul called on Hurd. Shea Evans kind of got away with the forearm.
Yeah, normally, again, you know, we mentioned this the first half. The player who initiates that type of thing normally gets away with it.
22nd timeout called, and Shea Evans couldn't find a player to throw it to, and players are just, right now, they're just out of sync.
They are out of sync. I think they're somewhat demoralized and kind of beaten up on the inside. But again, this is when teams, especially young teams, have to show character and bring it together and not be so much focused on the fact that they're down. You get back in these games each play by each play by each play. Don't do it all at one time. And again, they've got another game before the Christmas break, so they want to finish up these next 8 minutes as a team strong, and then the next game against Lafayette State, and then go into the new year with a win.
You were a legend around in this metropolitan area. You went to DeMatha High School, and you were telling me about the 1965 team that defeated Lou Alcindor, better known as Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's Power Memorial High School, their longest winning streak or whatever.
Yeah, most young people are not aware of that particular aspect of DeMatha Catholic High School basketball. Many older folks or folks who are just basketball aficionados who love the game, they're aware of Power Memorial featuring Lou Alcindor, now Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Had a 71-game winning streak, came in Coalfield House January of 1965. It was a blizzard, as a matter of fact, and Coalfield House, 14,000 people attended that game, and it kind of put DeMatha Catholic High School basketball on the map nationally. They were a local power, but they became a national power after that particular game.
And Bowie State has recruited a couple of DeMatha's products. A few years ago, Face Burgess was from DeMatha High School, tremendous player. Damon Keys still doing a pretty good job shooting from the free throw line.
Yeah, he's having an excellent night on the line.
Hurd to Moses, and they're going back outside. Off the mark, Keys coming up with it, and here he comes. They put a little bit of pressure on him. Eight minutes to go in the game, 72-37. The visitors from Raleigh, North Carolina, gonna have a nice trip back home. Traveling was called on Keys.
Yeah, Damon trying to do a little bit too much at this particular point in time. Being real competitive, however, trying to do a little bit too much. Needs to get someone else into the offense.
Once again, the Bulldogs showing their press. And there's Moses off the mark this time. Stadium Johnson in the corner. Shea Evans. Evans going hard to the basket, and he'll go to the free throw line.
Yeah, good penetration by Evans on that play, and as a matter of fact, shot that with his offhand. It was a good penetration. That's exactly the type of play that they got to create, where whatever shot is being taken, and they're being challenged and hopefully fouled in the process.
Shea Evans has done a pretty good job tonight from the line. He's hit all his attempts here. that was an area that really has hurt Bowie State in the past. And it looks like this team really has improved their free throw shooting.
Yeah, I anticipate Dante Blaney coming back and them being able to be very competitive after the first of the year. I think really this game is an aberration. This is not indicative of Bulldog play. I think once they get all the ingredients back in order, we're going to see some good basketball from this team.
Heads up play there. St. Augustine and Moses. Firing squad right now. Trey City. He needs to have threes, 2 threes on his jersey instead of 2 twos, because he is heating that line up. Moses almost had a rebound. Best comes up with it somehow. We got an offensive foul this time. It's called on Moses.
Yeah, Moses pushing off, going through, got caught, got the foul placed on him. Another thing that has to be done, LT, is Coach Hickman's got to find a way to capitalize on Damian's offensive capabilities by incorporating, utilizing someone else. When you have a player such as Damian, he becomes more effective if you have another player or a couple other players who are threats. At this point in time, if the defense only has to concentrate on Damian, it affords the defense to really play you cheaply. They don't really have to play you honestly because everyone's kind of playing a zone, anticipating Damian penetrating into that zone. So he's got to come up with some additional offense. He got 38 points with 6 minutes left in the second period. It's not many points at this level of competition.
You saw Shazam Foster doing a pretty good job at the line there, hitting his first attempt and make it 2. So Shamar, the most minutes that he's seen all season, and he's really done a wonderful job off the bench. Rebounding has been his knack. Bowie State playing defense. Best trying to be athletic for a big man. He can't do it, but he'll go to the line.
Yeah, that was a good look-see inside. Got the ball the best, quick, snappy pass, and he couldn't convert. However, good hands in catching that ball.
Joseph Best, the senior from Goldsboro, North Carolina. This is St. Augustine team that if they're going to make a run at the CIAA title, this is their season. Their big men are seniors, Eric Harris and Joseph Best. Tremendous talent. And they're going to challenge the CIAA top dogs, Norfolk State or Virginia Union or Virginia State or any team like that. They're really going to have to do it this season.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, LT. You got the nucleus of Harris, Best, Hurd, and Hines, all seniors. These guys are the leadership of this squad. They've had a good game tonight, but as you mentioned, to compete later on, they're going to have to really put it together.
Well, entering the game for the first time for the Falcons, James Gaines, junior from Tacoma, Washington. Did some traveling to come all the way to Raleigh to come to school.
That's right. He's a long way from home.
Shea downtown, no good. We get a tip in. Looked like that was tipped in. Mike Jones back in the game with 4 personal fouls. 76-42. 5:30 to play in the game. Shamar trying to get the offense going. Moses doesn't have to worry about Farrell tonight.
Good play by Moses. This took the ball straight to the hole. Nothing else you can say about that.
Beautiful look inside by Johnson, but Keys can't hit. Moses was wide open, and he's still wide open. He decides to pass the shot up. 5 minutes to play. Nice baseline move by Gaines, and hard foul. Gaines and Johnson get tied up there on the floor. That foul will be called on Mr. Johnson. Mr. Foster.
Yeah, the guy's showing a lot of sportsmanship on that particular play. I would suspect a lot of frustration on the part of the Bulldogs. Jones coming out of the game, excellent play by Jones, playing hard on the boards. Outmanned, outsized, not outmanned, certainly he's a man, but certainly outsized by the platoon substitution of, you got Best, Pitts, and Harris, big guys, and it's difficult for Jones, but he played a good game.
You see Coach Tav Hickman really trying to rally the troops. Down to only 10 players, and they did a pretty good job in that road swing down there in North Carolina. They got some victories against Livingstone and Shaw University before coming back home. But this is a team that is really going to have to play hard and become better at the fundamentals if they're going to really beat up on some of the top dogs in the CIAA. Shea running through the lane for two, and really had a quiet game, Mr. Johnson.
Well, as we mentioned, they got 3 weeks to kind of fine-tune some of the problems that have shown themselves today. They got themselves 3 good weeks to put it all together. Whatever injuries may be plaguing them, they got an opportunity for some people to heal, come back on the 7th of January, and after the holidays out of the way, and be a solid basketball team.
Mike Jones with the legendary crossover. Did they even do the crossover back in the day when they had John Havlicek and Elgin Baylor and those guys?
Come on, LT, you're going to be asking me whether or not we wore tennis shoes in a minute here. Of course we had the crossover. We had guys, man,
As I look at the videos back in the day,
yes.
I always say back in the day.
Okay.
I don't remember seeing any crossovers like Tim Hardaway does or Allen Iverson does. Pistol Pete Mavericks, as you hear our director and producer, Mr. Bell, says.
Yeah. Well, I will say this. If you watch closely today, you mentioned Hardaway and other players in terms of that crossover. What they have allowed, they mean the officials, they've allowed something that they used to call back in the 70s and the 60s quite a bit, which was called palming or which was essentially called palming the ball, where you couldn't cuff the ball and turn it over with your hands. And they allow that today. It's added some excitement and it added some things to the game. But they used to call it quite a bit back at that time.
And they've cracked down on it this season. If you've watched many of the NBA games, they're really cracking down on that. The guys, Allen Iverson, Stoudemire, they're getting like 5-6 turnovers because of that call, the palming call.
Well, that's true. They've let them get away with it, I guess, for the previous years, and now they're going to clamp down. So you're going to have some players who have to adjust. I think one player in particular gets away with it every game. Michael Jordan is kind of famous for that.
Damon Keys with the wraparound pass, trying to ignite this crowd, but it rolls off his leg. 81-48, and that has pretty much been the story of this game.
It certainly has. Bulldogs got to dig down deep, get that pride working.
Gaines making good to the basket, and he'll go to the line. 3:20 remaining in the game. Jamie Parker picking up number 4.
You know, LT, I'm very impressed with, again, the big guys of St. Augustine. They're very mobile players. Go to the basket very good. Shoot the ball with nice soft touches. Take the ball right to the hole, right to the rim. Good big men.
James Gaines, the junior from Tacoma, Washington, at the line and misses the first attempt. Coach Norval Lee has a pretty good team. It's pretty much, they're ready for the Southern Division of the CIAA. North Carolina A&T, North Carolina Central, excuse me. Shaw University sporting a very good team this year. Mike Jones off the mark. Parker, a rare offensive rebound, puts it back. Bulldogs trying to salvage what's left of this game. Playing tremendous defense, and you talked about pride a couple of minutes ago, and they're starting to show a lot of pride here. They don't want to get blown out, embarrassed at home, and the crowd, they haven't left yet.
Yeah, they're playing pretty much respectable at this particular point in time. Jamie again hitting the boards well, following up. Missed that particular shot, however, good offensive bound. They will have Damien again.
Damien Keys doing it all, coming up with the steal, going to the basket, and he'll go to the line. Shoot two as he's fouled by Jamar Jones. They're clearing the bench. Coach Lee is.
Yeah, apparently Coach Lee does not feel confident with the personnel that he brought in to replace. Is coming back with some of the head dogs, so to speak. Harris back in the game, along with Hurd as well as Moses. So the nucleus of the squad is back in.
Guess for the last 2:47, they'll try to throw a few oops and get a couple of slams.
That's right, always ignites the crowd, get the crowd fired up. Again, for my first game, I just want to say while we got 2 minutes left here, it certainly is a pleasure for me to be here, and I certainly anticipate the games to come in the future. I'm very much pleased with the fact that I had an opportunity.
Well, Eric Harris making his presence known, felt. Here come the Falcons. Moses. He is fouled by Parker, and I think that'll be it for Mr. Parker. And Lee, Coach Lee, he brought in his starters, I think, mainly just to showboat a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think he was really concerned about losing the lead. However, you never know, and I guess precaution is probably the best route to take. So he brought the big guys back in. Jamie Park, I think, played a respectable game. Got some good offensive boards and had a tough time inside. He had to share some of the duties of covering guys like Harris and Best by himself as a big guy. I think he's going to get better, certainly.
A couple of these big men for the Falcons look like they're on the football team also. Harris is definitely a tight end.
That's right.
Or defensive tackle. He's a big guy. If St. Augustine had a football team, he definitely would be a member.
He certainly would. Again, when you have a big guy inside, it creates a lot of problems for the defense. They've got to be concerned they can't play you cheap. And your three-point players, they get open. This is how they get open when the defense has to be concerned about a big guy inside.
Fonte Moses, the super sophomore, done a wonderful job in the second half. Another block by the big man. Here they come. Moses, 84-52. St. Augustine, they're running away right now.
Yeah, what can you say about Moses in this game? He's had one heck of a game for a sophomore.
Stadium shake, can't hit it. Here they come, the Falcons. High to the big boy, can't hold on, and he's fouled. And he wanted to kiss the rim, and everybody's on their feet laughing at him because he couldn't hold on to the ball.
Looked like he got a little shove from behind by, I think, Jones on that particular play, Mike Jones. Evans, excuse me.
They're going to call a flagrant technical here on number 15 for Bowie State, Shea Evans. And the big man will shoot the tee. And once again, telling the crowd to be silent. But that's not going to do anything.
No, he has to understand he's not playing at home, he's playing away from home.
And once again, the big man acknowledging the crowd again. This guy is going to have the NBA scouts knocking on his door. He definitely has the body.
Soft touch, nice touch for a big man.
Nice elevation by Hurd. And he was there to put it back. You talked about his leaping ability at the start.
That's right, Bernard Hurd. Gets up there, man. Gets up there.
Shea Evans can't hit. Keys once again with the rebound. Down low, finding Jones. Back to Keys. And Keys has been the only bright spot offensively for Bowie State.
That's true. Damon had himself a good game tonight. Gave it all he got. Kind of lost his composure towards the middle of the second half. But he's hanging in there. He's giving it all he has.
Evans. Downtown. And they're cutting into the lead. 90-57. Under a minute to play. St. Augustine will have a very enjoyable bus ride home back to Raleigh, North Carolina. And they'll improve their record to 2-1 for the season. And the Bulldogs will drop to 2-6.
Yeah, again, the Bulldogs, again, they don't have a game, got one game after this here at home. Have an opportunity, therefore, to redeem themselves. Then they don't play again until the 7th of January. So it gives the coaching staff an opportunity to look at those things that they need to improve on, that need to work on, and to get prepared for the first of the year when the competition really starts to get rolling here.
Up next for Bowie State, Fayetteville State University, the Broncos. That'll be a doubleheader. The Lady Bulldogs be the first game. And the men's team will tackle the Broncos right here at the A.C. Jordan Basketball Arena. Evans off the mark. 35 seconds to play. Hines. There's Moses finding a big man, and he's showing his offensive skills, hanging in the air, gets the friendly roll, and he'll go to the line for the three-point play.
Well, it's clear, you know, LT, that's been the difference in the game. We've mentioned it before, kind of redundant at this point. Eric Harris along with Bess, along with Pitt on the inside. Hurd. These guys not only have good jumping ability, they're very strong. And it just wore the Bulldogs down, just wore them down inside.
Evans can't hit. Another rebound by Hurd. Under 20 seconds to play. 94-57. Moses, baseline. Runner, no good. Hines with the rebound, offensive rebound. Shot clock off, 5 seconds in the game. Moses, baseline, baby! And he'll end the game with a nice baseline jam. 96-57 is our final score. St. Augustine defeating the Bulldogs here at the A.C. Jordan Basketball Arena. Very disappointing loss for Bowie State, but they were outmanned. They only had 10 players dressed. We don't want to make excuses for them, but this St. Augustine Falcon team, they're very big.
I think, LT, you got to chalk this game up to a learning experience. It provides the coaching staff an opportunity to look very closely at the personnel. It also provides, between now and the first of the year, an opportunity for some of the injured players, Dante Blaney, to get himself back together and hopefully come back in and contribute. And it also, for the players themselves, no player likes to lose. It gives them an opportunity to understand the type of competition that they're facing. I just want to say quickly, I appreciate this opportunity. I look forward to the games to come. This is a great program, great staff. President Dr. Nathaniel Pollard, and also the athletic director Charles Guilford. Extend my appreciation and thanks to them for developing such an excellent program here at Bowie State.
Well, up next for Bowie State, Fayetteville State University. Our final score, St. Augustine 96, Bowie State 57. For Sid Catlett, I'm Lexter Taylor, saying so long until next time.